the biggest thing for me is obviously I want to become a big leaguer in 2025, and I feel like I'm right there. And obviously, if I take those next couple of steps, I could be possibly, I feel like I could be an everyday player. And so that's the biggest goal for me is, just become a big leaguer and help the team win.
All right, guys, welcome back into another episode Up to the Show We Go baseball podcast. On a trend lately. We started off pitcher heavy. We've been recently getting into the position player side of things, which is always good. A little shake up here. We got another returning guest. We have Blaze Jordan on today. Obviously, I feel like a lot of Red Sox fans know Blaze. He spent 2024 in Portland, playing a lot of first and third. Which we'll probably hint at a little bit down the road. But Blaze, thank you so much for hopping on. And I just want to ask you, obviously, you're back home for the off season, but how have things been going back home?
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. And back at home, it's been going great. I've been enjoying time with my family and my dogs, and I've been training in my facility that I have here. So everything's been feeling good, and everything. So everything's been going good here.
And so what kind of things have you been working on, I guess, once you're back home at your home facility? Like what's been like the week-to-week schedule looking like?
The biggest thing for me when I first got back was giving my hand a break, because obviously with the finger injury and stuff this past year, like after that, my strength in my hand was never the same. So my main focus was getting that strong again and taking care of that. So I've been doing a lot of like gripping stuff and like everything. And but then overall just getting stronger, because I feel like that's where I really like this year. I got my body in better shape, but I really feel like I could take that next step of getting really strong. And so that's the biggest thing, is just getting as strong as I possibly can, and tap into the power a little bit more. And that's the things I'm going to continue to work on. So
I asked you about this once I saw you at some point, maybe in New Hampshire towards the end of the year. And obviously you had the bad luck with the freak injuries that happened, and obviously with the finger and everything. But were you a little excited to see the baseball calendar maybe come to an end in 2024 after the two like weird injuries that happened to you?
I wouldn't say I was excited. I just kind of wanted like a fresh start. Like I said, like I knew I wasn't 100%, but like obviously I was good enough to play, but I could definitely tell, like when I was in the box and stuff, my confidence wasn't 100% there, because I didn't feel as strong. Anytime you have a hand injury, it's just kind of like your grip and stuff's a little bit off. So I could tell that throughout the whole year after that happened, and I just never felt like I was the same guy. But I just wanted to be out there with my guys, and I got out there as quick as I possibly could. And but I wouldn't say I was excited. I love playing baseball, and that's like what I love to do. So I was kind of sad when the season ended, but yeah, it was one of those things. It was nice to like get a break, to get my body a rest, and just get back to 100% again. So.
All right, I want an update on this question that I did ask you during the season, but and it was talked about a lot last off season, and obviously you were talking about getting your body in better shape and all that. So we're a full season down now. You're into your off season now after that off season last year. What were your takeaways, I guess, from the new body this year? Like, are you feeling more fresh now? Now that you played the whole season, like, I guess what are some of the takeaways that after playing a full year?
Yeah, I was definitely more fresh. I felt like my body felt good throughout the year and everything. Defensively wise, I felt like I was, more versatile. I was able to play third base more than first base this year, which I wasn't able to do the year before. And I feel like my numbers and stuff improved over there. And I feel like that was kind of the biggest jump for me that I made, was on the defensive side. And that's, how the main reason I wanted to get my body in a good position so I can play third and first, and just become a better base runner at the same time. So, but, while that went on, I feel like I took a step back maybe in my strength and stuff a little bit, which, dealing with the injuries and stuff, I couldn't really tell 100%. But yeah, I feel like I did a pretty good job of getting my body in better shape. And this year, I'm going to do the same thing, but, just get stronger. So.
I'm not sure if anybody asked you, or maybe I'm going to miss it going through some stuff over the course of like the last year, but what did you kind of do specifically to get yourself into better shape? Like, what was some of like the, your change in like how either you worked out or what maybe you might have eaten that was different?
The biggest thing for me is my diet. I literally cooked every single meal that I basically ate. I hardly even ate out with my family and stuff. They would go out to eat and stuff, but I would just stay home and cook my own meals. And I'm still continuing to do that. And I had an uptick in my conditioning and stuff. I focused on that a lot and everything. But now, since my body is in a good position, I can really focus on my speed and stuff now. Last year, I was mainly just focused on getting my body in shape, getting where I needed to be. And now that I'm in a good position, I'm able to focus on that now. But it was just mainly my conditioning and diet that I really focused on, and it just kind of went from there. So,
What's a like go-to like meal prep that you're doing right now as you're kind of continuing to go through like that, with your fitness and things like that? I'm really getting into it over the last like, a couple of months, and it is intriguing to kind of hear what other people are doing, and especially when professional athletes.
yeah, the biggest thing for me is I like try to stay away from like I just try to stay like as natural as I possibly can. So like I do like ground turkey, ground beef, chicken, and then rice and vegetables, and then I'll do a bunch of fruits, yogurts, and then I've been getting an acai bowls lately too. So I actually make my own acai bowls and stuff, and that's kind of the biggest thing for me is just staying like as natural as I possibly can, and just eating the stuff that actually comes from the earth, and that's not like I don't know what it's called, but like altered, I guess. But and just not and knowing what's like going in my food and stuff. So that's kind of just the main thing I focused on is just trying to just cook every meal as possible. So,
Do you ever does that ever get boring for you? Because I know me and my wife try to meal prep sometimes, and she's like, I don't want to eat the same thing like for lunch every day and stuff. So how do you get past that?
it did kind of suck at first, but now I've kind of just gotten my mindset to where like I don't really eat for like pleasure. I kind of eat to like fuel my body, and that's the way I kind of look at it now. Is like I'm doing it to make myself better, and so it makes me like have a new perspective on it, and it's just nice knowing like what's actually going in my body and stuff, and knowing that I'm taking care of myself and that it's going to help me perform and everything. So I just have all those thoughts going in my head. So I get past the boring part that way. So.
Okay, so it's safe to say that you're one of my biggest allies on the Zaxby's front. So it's safe to say you're probably not eating that anymore.
Yeah, I haven't had that in a while, a long time. So yeah,
It's upsetting to hear, but
yeah.
it's
Oh, that was
understandable.
that was a hard part, not having Zaxby's, but I mean, I'll cheat every once in a while, like every once in a while. It's hardly ever, but like if I don't have any other options, but yeah,
That's fair. I
yeah,
feel like it's that's a casualty that you're willing to take, but it might hurt a little bit when you drive by the sign sometime. But
yeah.
all right, so that gets me on to I guess I got to ask you just a couple questions about 2024, just as a season as whole. You played 49 games in Portland in 2023, returned this year for the full year. What did you? I guess now that we're at the end of, I'll give it a year and a half, I guess we'll say, of Double A ball. What kind of things do you feel that you still need to work on to get up to the next level?
The biggest thing for me was I kind of got away from my approach this year. I was trying to do too much, and I was so focused on trying to get my power numbers and stuff up instead of doing like how I was in Greenville and just sticking with my approach and staying behind the ball, stay to center field, and that's kind of where I fell into a trap, and I just kind of kept going down because those pitchers are too good to get away from your plan, and then so when you're kind of lost up there, it's just kind of they had the advantage for sure, but I kind of learned towards the end how the pitchers are attacking me and everything, and I did change my approach towards the end, and I feel like I ended on a strong note the last 2 weeks. And but yeah, the biggest thing for me was like just my approach, and that's the main thing that I'm gonna focus on this upcoming year is my approach, and controlling the strike zone and getting pitches that I can really drive, because my strength is obviously my bat the ball, and I feel like I was getting myself out a lot this year, putting balls in play that I really shouldn't be swinging at, and I was getting myself out. So that's the main focus this year is just my approach and swinging good pitches to hit, which is gonna have an uptick in my power numbers and just overall contact. So.
I feel like this upcoming spring training is a pretty big one for you. Obviously, you're and I don't know if like this is something you think about, but obviously you're Rule 5 eligible for the first time in your career this offseason. I guess I'll start there. Do you even does that even like the thought cross your mind that you are like, is that something that you care about?
I don't really think about it too much because I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna work as hard as I can and be in the best shape I can going into spring training and just be ready for next year. So that's kind of the way I go about it. I know it's a business and everything, so that's kind of just how I'm just taking it. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I didn't think you probably were just like, oh, it's like weighing on the mind every day or anything. But so all right. So my question was, this spring training is pretty big for you. Obviously, you've put in some time now in Double A, and it's potential. There's spots open, obviously, in Worcester as we go into next year. So this spring training is sort of big for you. What are you looking forward to the most about showing your game in spring training and possibly, obviously getting into games with the big leaguers and things like that?
The biggest thing for me is actually being healthy again this year. I feel like I got off to a pretty good start this past year, but obviously with the injuries and stuff that happened, I'm just ready to get back to 100% and back to my full strength, and really just show them things that I've been working on because I'm work hard defensively and stuff, and work on getting quicker, and just work on my approach and everything. And I feel like it'll be a good opportunity for me to showcase that, but obviously work on those things in spring training to get ready for the season, and getting deeper in the counts, taking pitches that I shouldn't be swinging at, getting myself out and all that. So that's kind of like what I'm excited about, just getting back out there and learn from last year and just have a really good year this upcoming year. So,
Well, we're now that the 2024 is over, the baseball season. Did you look back and think of how crazy it was of the media attention on your team this year?
it was crazy for sure. Like you kind of noticed it in the moment, like obviously, like all the stuff that was going on, but it was fun to be around. Be around all those guys, learn from the guys, and it was pretty cool. Everybody that knew us, they knew who they were playing. They were every time we walked in, and I feel like the fans and stuff knew. Like when we went to opposing ballparks and stuff, and it was just an excitement around our team. And obviously, we have a lot of big leaguers and stuff on our team, so it was just fun to be around and fun to play in a good team like that. So.
You do know though that like I'm sure you obviously know that's not a normal occurrence in minor league baseball. I'm assuming you knew that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like I knew the type of guys I was playing with. That's not normal in the minor leagues. And I could tell like when we would go to like playing other teams and stuff, they would be like, y'all's lineup is like ridiculous and stuff. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, they're like 1 through 9. I feel like y'all are rake. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we got a good squad. So, but the cool thing was we're all super close at the same time. So that was probably the most fun about it. Like we're all buddies and stuff. So that was also the fun part about it too. So.
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. When I was down in Harrisburg when you guys were down there, I was talking with one of the starters that week, Chase Zaleski, and he kind of like he pulled me I had talked to him a little bit, and he pulled me aside. He's just like dude, this lineup is like kind of nuts. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And he's just like, well, you got those three, but then you got like, you got Blaze down there, you got Alex Benelis down there, like you got like all these guys, and it's like Benelis is hitting like 7th in this lineup, and he's like Blaze Jordan is hitting like 6th or whatever you were hitting that day.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is not a normal occurrence on like most teams, like especially their team. Like they were just like those guys would be hitting 2 and 3 in our lineup right now. So
Yeah.
insane to me that lineup was that deep at some points. And then obviously once those 3 left, and then you get Just Dixon, who could hit a ball 500 feet, and you got Mikey, who was ripping the cover off the ball. It was pretty impressive to watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like yeah, obviously like when they left, and then we had more guys just come up, and they just just right where they left off. I was having guys in front of me all the time that were getting on base, so it's obviously always nice to get those RBIs. So.
Yeah. Well, I like this next question I'm going to ask because I've had a lot of fun with it. I started asking this when we had Matt Duffy on, and he's rooming right now at the complex with a just stacked room of Connolly Early, Hayden Mullins, Blake Weehunt. He's got a ton of characters in his room right now. I feel like a good set of roommates probably makes your season quite more enjoyable. What was your? I know that it might have been some moving parts because guys going up and you're getting other guys from Greenville. But what was your situation like this year? And I guess how did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was just me and Nick Decker the whole time though. He was my roommate at home and on the road, and but he was a great roommate though. Super clean. He took care of everything, and he's like all about nutrition and stuff too. So he took care of his body and everything. Pre-made all of his meals. So me and him were like really same in that aspect. So, but yeah, he was a great roommate. And that was kind of. But Marcel and Roman then were on the same floor as us too. So we would go over there and mess with them and stuff a little bit. So it was a fun time for sure. So,
all right, I want to talk about some things off the field. It was year two for you in Portland. What did you start to? Did you get to get out more, see the town more? Obviously, Portland's a very fun city to be in the summer. I know everybody. You went a little viral towards the beginning of the year because you on opening day in Portland you posted photos of just like a foot of snow at Hadlock. So what did you like about Portland this past year?
my favorite part, the fan base there is great, obviously, especially in the summer. The beginning kind of stunk. It was super cold. It was hard to hit. Ball wasn't going anywhere. It was just a tough place to play in the beginning. But once summer hits, it's really enjoyable to play there. The weather is beautiful. The town's beautiful, like you said. And so when my family and them would come up, we would, go to the restaurants and stuff down there, go sightseeing and go to the lighthouses and everything. So that was kind of like my favorite thing to do. Just go like to the little ocean and stuff and look at the lighthouse and everything with my family and everything. So
Was that the first time that because I kind of forgot, opening day in 23, you were down in Greenville at the time. So I know it's obviously a lot better weather come beginning of the season. Was that the first time that you had a snow out on opening day?
yeah, it was my first time for a snow out. Yeah, I've played in like sleet before, like in high school, like when it's like sleeting rain, but that was my first time I've had like a snow out. So
Yeah, well, and you kind of explained it a little bit. The ball doesn't really travel as far when it's that cold compared to obviously the warmer weather in the summer. Um, did you have to adjust anything about yourself early on when it was like, some of those nights, man, they like Portland doesn't mess around with the cold weather like at the beginning of the season. It's like, so was there anything you had to kind of be like I can't do what I usually do because it's just like not going to work?
yeah, it might sound crazy, but like my approach would change. Like if the wind was like howling in and it's cold, like I was not trying to hit a ball in there because I was like, if you hit a ball in there, you're automatically out basically because they're just gonna get right under it. So I would set my sights like really low and just try to squeak one through the hole. That's kind of like what you had to do at the beginning of the year. So you kind of just almost fully just had to change your approach and how you went about the game. But during the summertime, you can go back to doing what you want to do and everything. So because I mean we were hitting some balls like 107, 108, and they weren't even getting close to going out. So we were like, we didn't know what to do. So we were just kind of like just stuck in that position. So I hit one I thought was for sure like way gone, and it wasn't even close to the wall. So I was like, all right. I was like, okay. But yeah, it's definitely a tough place to hit. So, but I mean, in the summertime I got better for sure. But yeah, the beginning it was brutal.
Well, just an FYI, if you once you do once you do eventually get up to Worcester, whether it's at the start of the year or not, it's just as cold there, and the ball does fly during the summer, but it's still not any warmer than Portland, Maine. I'll
Oh
tell you
yeah.
that. All right, Chris, I am going to hop into some other things here. I don't know if you got anything.
No, we'll see what you got with the next. We segue over to the next set of questions.
Okay. And I may have asked you this last off season, but I'm going to ask you again because maybe some interest changed. But I feel like every single guy that I have coming on this show this off season is doing one of two things in their free time. They're either golfing or they're playing Call of Duty right now.
Yeah.
Would you put yourself in those buckets?
No, I actually haven't golfed since spring training, and I've played Call of Duty like a couple years back, and I was so bad, so I just never played
Fair.
again. But so I've been playing NCAA when I in my free time. So I play NCAA, and then but we've been busy building a house, me and my family. So we've been super busy with that. So I haven't really had a lot of time from like training and dealing with all that, and so I haven't been really playing a ton of video games and stuff. So,
What's your role in the house building? Like, what are you like? Are you responsible for anything? Like,
not really. I'm just helping my mom make some decisions, and I had to do a lot of stuff in my room and what they wanted and everything. So it's just like that long process. And then I go over there and clean sometimes too, with me and my parents because uh, obviously with construction they leave a big mess. So my mom likes to keep everything neat, so I go over there and help out a lot, usually about every week. So but we go over there about every day to check out and see what they're doing and just making sure everything's going good. So,
are the is the dogs getting any special room or anything cool in the new house?
yeah, they actually are. They're getting their own shower and stuff. They're
Ooh,
getting like
okay.
a dog. It has like dog tile and stuff in it. They're getting quite a bit. And then we have them a pool and they have like a splash pad and stuff on it. So I'm sure they'll be enjoying all that and everything. So they're gonna be spoiled definitely. So.
I did want to ask too because a little background about me. My growing up, my mom was you could consider her a crazy cat lady. We had probably 4 to 5 cats at all times. Like she was definitely a crazy cat lady. You don't even need to like tell me twice. But so I never grew up with a dog, but my wife obviously wants to get a dog, and she has been surrounded by dogs her whole life. She has loved them since day one. Where did your love for dogs come from?
It was kind of just my family kind of always just had one. They brought my first lab home. It was a yellow lab, and I just kind of, just fell in love with her and everything. I just loved playing with her, being outside with her, and that was kind of, I would go hit in my side yard and stuff when I was younger, and she would go chase the ball down and everything. So just kind of just being around her and kind of just that was kind of my love for the dogs. And then I got an inside dog, a little Bashan, and. And then ever since then, we just kind of got more dogs. And once those passed away, I had three. I had two labs and then that Bashan, but then those three passed away. So now we have two golden doodles and a bulldog. So now my mom just likes to keep dogs in the house. She's a big dog person too. So I think I got it from her. So that's kind of just how I was kind of just grew up with having dogs. So
As something that a lot of people can relate, obviously with being a dog owner or getting dogs. How does one choose? I mean, because your bulldog, like, I mean, that bulldog is photogenic. And
yes.
every time you upload a photo on your Instagram story, or whatever, that bulldog is very photogenic when the camera comes out. I've noticed that. But how do you choose? Like, how did you come about to choose? Like, oh, we're getting a bulldog, or was that mom's decision, or was that on you?
The first golden doodle that we got, that was my mom's idea because my other inside dog was about to pass, so we needed a dog that didn't shed and all that. So um, we got him a golden doodle, and then the next one I was like, well, we need a friend for it. So my mom was like, yeah, we probably do. So we got another golden doodle, and that one's kind of mine. And then the bulldog was actually a rescue. My dad and them were at a store, Hollywood Feed. That's where they get all the dogs' food and stuff. And they were having like a rescue day, and this the bulldog that I have, Ralphie, he was dumped, so he just like got out of stomach surgery and all that. And my dad was like, "We got to take him home. Like I'm not leaving here without him." And my mom was like, "We can't have another puppy," but my dad ended up getting him. So now my mom's super attached to him. So he's like the best dog though. He's super lazy. He doesn't do anything. He snores really loud though. So like he can't sleep anywhere near us because like it's so loud how loud he snores. But it's funny watching him run too because he gets out of breath so easy. And he's like 1 years old. I'm like I'm like dude. But no, he's the best though for sure. So
Is that that's an ode to your Mississippi State commit days there, the Bulldogs, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was on purpose or well, obviously I knew he was a rescue, but like I didn't know if it was like, hey, it goes hand in hand. Obviously you're a Mississippi State guy, but
No, it was my dad always wanted a bulldog, and I kind of liked them too. So that was kind of it just kind of worked out that way. So
okay.
yeah.
Um, I now that we're kind of in the off season, you got a little more free time on your hands, and you haven't picked up a golf club in a while, and You're not really playing the COD, which I can relate to. Not very good at it. So what are you? What kind of things are you watching these days on any streaming services?
Ooh, I watched like those Menendez brothers cases on Netflix, that whole documentary and stuff. I watched that. Um, I watch Family Guy a lot. I watch Family Guy and South Park a lot. That's kind of like my go-to. Like at night, I kind of just turn on Family Guy, and that's kind of what I watch. And then I'll be watching TikTok at the same time. So I'm terrible about scrolling on TikTok too. Like I just scroll forever, and then but I just kind of like watching funny stuff. Like comedians and stuff, like Shane Gillis and all them too. So it's just stuff like that. That's I don't really watch a ton of serious stuff besides that Menendez brother because I was just curious about that. So it's that's kind of just what I do. I like to like just watch comedians and funny stuff. Just pass the free time. So I like to watch a lot of HGTV stuff too. That's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
what because I like to watch like them redoing houses and stuff. Because me and my brother actually did one where we redid a house and now we're renting it out. We're waiting for the market to go down. We're waiting to get some more, but we're waiting for the market to go down a little bit and the interest rates and everything. So we gotta wait on that. But I'm looking forward to do a couple more and everything. So
Has it been fun being a landlord?
it has been, yeah. It was fun, like redoing the house because it was like an older house and everything, and it was fun to go in there, and kind of just tear out the things and just kind of redo it and make it nice for the next people coming in. And I'm like a big fan of like that stuff too, like making stuff that might not be good anymore, make it like fresh again, and that's kind of like big for me. And I just like to do like cool stuff like that and make it better for the next person coming in. So.
It's so satisfying to watch. Like, I mean, obviously the popular one was like Fixer Upper, that my wife was obsessed with back in the day. But it was just so satisfying though, like watching those. And it's like, they go into a place, needs a lot of love, and it's like, okay, they have this vision for it, and they're just like, it's going to look like this, and you're like, there's no way that kitchen is going to look like that. There's just no way. But then they do it, and you're just like, holy shit, that works. So I feel like it would be super satisfying. And have you ever thought about, obviously you have a good presence on Instagram and with quite a few followers. Like, have you ever thought about like, documenting that journey, like whenever you guys do that?
I did think about it this past time, but a lot of the work got done when I wasn't at home. So
That's fair.
my brother was helping me a lot with it and stuff too. So me and him like 50-50 into the business. So it's he did a lot of it, but I did think about that. It would be cool to do that. So I wanted to get one early this off season and kind of do something like that, but it wasn't the right time to buy and stuff. So we're still just kind of waiting and just sitting back. And but it would be cool to do that. But by the time we get one and everything, I won't be able to document it again because I'll be gone. So it's but yeah, that would be really something cool to do. So.
All right, well, put it on the bucket list for 15 years ish from now. After the playing career is over, be like, okay, like this is in the back pocket. I can just document this journey, sell it to HGTV or whatever's around at the time, and see, we're giving you plans for whenever you're done.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's probably what I will do when I'm done is probably get into housing stuff like that. That's kind of just, I don't know. I've always loved doing stuff like that. So.
I've learned a lot, like, because you had a teammate this past year that's big into like I think Christopher Troy is also a landlord, and I know he kind of talked about that with us last off season, and that he was pretty new to it, and he had gone in with some of his friends and all that, and it seems like definitely like some players now are starting to do things like that. It's kind of interesting to hear.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
All right. I've been asking this question a lot this offseason. It's not the fried chicken question because you're my Zaxby's guy, so I that's already covered. But still no sponsorship, by the way. But we're working on it. But it's a food related question, and it's gonna be tough for you because I know that you're eating healthy and all the things like that. But you still gotta be a sauce guy. Like everybody is a condiment and sauce guy. I know that might not be as healthy to douse that chicken with ranch or whatever you want to do, but everybody's a sauce guy at heart. So I got this question for you. All right. So you got 3 of your fingers, and those 3 fingers can dispense a sauce. And those 3 sauces that you choose are the only sauces that you can have for the rest of your life. Which 3 sauces are you choosing?
I'm going A1 first.
Ooh,
and Yeah, then I'm gonna go. I'll go ketchup. I'll go ketchup next. My third would probably be the tongue torch sauce from Zaxby's, 100%.
Tongue torch. I don't think I've had that one.
Yeah, it's so good. That's like if I order like boneless wings from there, that's the flavor I get is tongue torch. So
I'm assuming it's like a hotter sauce, right?
yeah, it's a hotter sauce, but yeah, that's what I would do for my chicken. So
That means
Okay.
Andrew's out because Andrew can't handle hot.
I'm coming around on it. All right. I'm starting to. I can't do anything over mild, man. I don't know why.
You saw what happened. So at Polar Park, they I forgot what one of the days was, but they had fried chicken. I peel all the fried crap off.
Mhm.
I wanted sriracha, but I actually grabbed the ghost pepper and I put too much. I didn't realize it, and I dipped it in. You would have thought that my lips, like, I would have had them done. Like they were like out there, they were red all around there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't handle like too much hot stuff. Like me and my buddies, I was visiting them at Mississippi State, and it was like Thursday night football, and I ordered Buffalo Wild Wings for all of them, and I was like, let's get like blazing wings just for like the fun of it. So then one of my buddies, he ate one, and he just kind of sat there for a second, and then so then we all just it was like 5 or 6 of us, so then we all just ate one, and we're like, oh, it's not that bad, and then like 30 seconds later, like I couldn't get it out of my mouth, and it brought me to tears. And I was like, I've never, and I just had one, and I was like, I can never do this again. Like it was brutal. Like I can't handle that type of stuff. But it was definitely an experience though, but something I'll never do again for sure. But
I was gonna say you just threw out a potential sponsorship for you. Blaze Jordan being the Blazing Wings, like Buffalo Wild Wings athlete. Like, I mean, but
oh
not
yeah,
anymore. I guess you can't handle it. I mean, I
yeah,
wouldn't be able to handle
handle
it.
it. Yeah, I got that, and I got Blaze Pizza. I've been the Blaze Pizza
Right.
before too. Yeah. Which there's
Okay.
one right across from Fenway too, because we went to Boston when I was flying back home for the off season, and we went to go like look at Fenway and stuff, and there's a Blaze Pizza like right across the street. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that. There is a Blaze Pizza right there.
Yeah.
Holy
Hmm.
shit. It's like right by Lansdowne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Put that one on the list too. But okay. So I agree with the sauces. I'm glad you showed some love to Zaxby's sauce. I feel like I've been getting some wild answers so far this year. I mean, I've been getting gravy a lot, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I got like chocolate sauce. Matt Duffy's all about his chocolate sauce. I don't know, man. I'm getting all over the board. So it is interesting. I'm glad I finally got Zaxby's.
Uh,
All right, Chris, I got 2 more left. I don't know what you got emptying the tank here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask what I've been asking everybody so far. Give me your most embarrassing song in your playlist.
most embarrassing song?
Yep.
Oh, I would have to say "Risk" by oh, what's her name? Hang on, I can't think of her name. It's she. So I went to a Taylor Swift concert this all season with my brother and my sister-in-law, and she opened up for her. I think her name's like Gracie or something, but it's like Risk. But I kind of dig the song. But I got some Taylor Swift songs on there too, so probably something like that.
We got. I don't know how well you know Justin Reamer in the system, but he gave us an Addison Rae song. Does that surprise you?
I
Just
mean,
that somebody gave us that song, not Justin in particular, but just like that's like somebody's. I mean, it was kind of catchy. Though, I'm gonna be honest
yeah,
with you.
I haven't heard any of her songs. I didn't know she honestly made music, so,
I didn't
so
either.
it does surprise me. But yeah.
He did credit his girlfriend. He said that his girlfriend got him hooked.
That's fair.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So
How okay, a lot's been made of this on Twitter and just on social media, but it's well known that Kyle Teal is a DJ.
Yeah.
How I guess my question is how good of a DJ is he? And I don't mean that in a way of like, don't tell me he's like not good on the aux, because I'm sure he is, but like, is he capable of like if a club in Worcester or wherever was like, we need a fill-in DJ tonight, could he do the job?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like it's really good in the locker room, but like it's almost at the point sometimes to like where you can't hear yourself think. So then you're just like you're trying to cover your ears because we're trying to get like ready for the game, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even talk because. But it's like really good though, and like the mixes and stuff he does is crazy. But I don't know a ton about DJing, but I enjoy it a lot for sure though. So like I enjoy listening to the stuff that he puts on. So
Okay.
I don't think he did much though when we were there towards the end. Obviously, he's getting acclimated and stuff like that, but I don't think he did. Or maybe I missed it. I don't know.
No, he was he was kind of easing in. I know he didn't want to go in day one and demand the aux cord, obviously, with there being like, guys that had played in the majors for like 5-6 years there. So
Yeah.
I think he did it the good way. He was kind of like, I'm just gonna go in, get settled in and go from there. So I think he did a good job when he got up to Worcester. Okay. I got my last question here. Unless Chris, you got anything?
No, I might piggyback off, but
okay. All right. So my last question to you. I asked you this question last year as well, and so I'm gonna give you a follow up here. Mm-hmm. So obviously we're quickly approaching 2025. We already talked about it's big spring training for you. At this time next year, I asked you this question last year too. I don't know if you remember what you said, but I'm gonna ask it again for now this next season. A year from today, so let's say November 13th of 2025. Mm-hmm. What kind of things would you have liked to have accomplished over the 2025 baseball season?
I think the biggest thing for me is obviously I want to become a big leaguer in 2025, and I feel like I'm right there. And obviously, if I take those next couple of steps, I could be possibly, I feel like I could be an everyday player. And so that's the biggest goal for me is, just become a big leaguer and help the team win. And just stay healthy too, and not go on the IL like I had to this past year, which some things you just can't control, but just control the things I control to do that. But I just want to be a big leaguer and help them win. So that's kind of the big thing for me, and I feel like I've had a lot of lessons, over my course of playing so far, and I feel like I'm at that point now where I'm basically ready, and I'll just take those next steps and just go from there.
Chris, anything any follow-ups before we bring it home?
No, I think we kind of touched upon a ton. I think we're
okay.
The biggest takeaway that I got out of this is that minus the athletic ability, I am Blaze Jordan because I love watching Family Guy come on down the end of the night. I scroll on TikTok way too much, and I love pets, and I do like a little HGTV. So I am Blaze Jordan minus I have zero athletic ability.
Oh yeah, basically,
See, Blaze, that's kind of why we like doing this too. Before we kind of sign off here, but it is nice to hear that you also like things that every other person out in the world enjoys. Like you enjoy a nice HGTV show and hanging out with your dog Ralphie. It's like a lot of people can relate to that.
Oh yeah, 100%. So
we just can't hit the ball 450 feet like you can, but it's okay. We enjoy watching it. All right, Blaze. Well, we thank you so much for hopping back on. And you're recurring guest now. You officially are. So we appreciate you hopping on for the second time now. And we're definitely looking forward. Might see you down at spring training in February. So we're looking forward to seeing you down there and in 2025. But thank you so much for hopping on.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you having me. I had a lot of fun. So it was nice being on here.